Hello. Okay, so I am here. Things didn't work out the way that I planned on how to do this. It is what it is. Life goes on. But I am here. If you are here, just say hi in the comments so that I know you're here. It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Ah! See, today is today. But I'm not gonna complain. Just happy, I guess, that today is partially over. I don't know what's going on. It is what it is. Somehow YouTube changed the way that they do it, the orientation, and I guess I didn't do it early enough when I scheduled this. And here I am. Here I am just trying to get it together. But I'm here and I am happy to be here and I'm happy it's Wednesday and it was my office Friday. So I'm out of the office, but still working, but from home. So I'm happy about that. It's been crazy. Hello there, Ken. Thank you for joining. You got a drink tonight. You legal. You can do that now. But yeah, guess I'll go ahead and get started with the wine in the meantime. I like the last two varietals I had from this particular brand. This one is 13% alcohol, and I went with a Pinot Grigio. I have not done one of these in a while, and I just want to see if now that I'm starting to come into enjoying wine, if I will enjoy a good Pinot Grigio. I've been staying with Sauvignon Blancs and Rosés, so Proseccos. So I want to see how well I will do with this. And hopefully I like it. But like I said, the last two varietals I had from this brand were they were really good. So gonna try. See, slowly becoming a white wine girl, and I am enjoying it. So let's see. Let's go ahead and get this open. Today has been such a day, a rough day. Not very happy about my live being in the orientation it is, but I'm gonna suck it up. Oh, this cork is in there. Let's see, hopefully it's in there right. Oh, the sound of that pour. I know, I'm heavy with the pour today. Beautiful color. Let's see. Got good legs. Okay. Smells nice. Let's see what we're working with here. Oh, it's pretty good. It's light. Okay, I can do this. It's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay. a pretty good one. Still mad about the angle of my life, but I'm not gonna dwell on it. Let's see. Recap on the week. Um, got to see some friends this weekend, and what else did I do? Support my cousin. Went to aerospace games. Bunch of different groups out there. Let me see. SpaceX, Northrop Grumman. Uh, who else was out there? Whew. JPL. Trying to think of who people would really know, but it was the cutest little. Oh, you got a pina colada tonight? Is it virgin or is it got a little something in it? But it was really cool event. They all had they played for a trophy and bragging rights for a year. It was really cool. Really cool event. And kind of hung out there for a little while. Really liked it. And met up with some friends at this juice bar. Literally, that's all it was juice. There was no liquor in it, but it was made with oh gosh, you're so boring. It was made with it, well, they put kava in it, and I didn't know what, that does. But it was actually really cool because it's supposedly, it gives you a relaxing effect, I guess. The nerd in me would have been the yes, the nerd in you definitely would have been in full effect and a star there. That's hilarious. No, you're absolutely right, little girl. So that's so funny. Uh, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Of course, my son liked that it was people playing soccer there because that's what he's into. But I just went to go and support my cousin and enjoy myself a little bit. So that was great. Let me see what else happened. Oh, I played pickleball yesterday. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Definitely something I could see myself doing again. When they first invited me out, I was trying to get out of going. Hey, Nick, how are you? I was really trying to get out of going at first, and I was like, "Oh well, I'm gonna have my son." They were like, "Bring him." I said, "Oh, okay." So I ended up taking him with me, and he had a good time. He was a hit. Everyone loved him, and I thought that was great. Just yeah, it was off. And yeah, other than that, just been working, doing the normal. I have not edited a thing, and it's kind of annoying myself that I have not done that, and I need to do that. And it's okay. It's life. And yeah. So but thank you guys for joining. I put it up. Um yeah. Oh, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are tired, especially after having to have a birthday party for a toddler and working and all that good stuff. I'm sure you're tired. I'm good. I'm good. I'm actually really good. I am just. I'm not gonna say I'm tired because I'm not tired because I've been taking my vitamins, so I've got a lot more energy. However, I just feel like I got a lot going on and have not actually said, I'm going to sit my butt down and actually do it. So I still got a lot I got to do that I have not done. Um, but I'm going to force myself to do it this weekend in between doing stuff with my little guy and go from there. Um, they opened up the new Total Wine. Blah, 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 blah. I can't even talk. They opened up a new Total Wine and More in Hollywood, West Hollywood today. And a friend was asking if I was going to be there. And I'm like, no, not tonight because it's Wednesday. Got my show. And apparently, I didn't miss anything. So that makes me happy because I be having FOMO sometime on certain things. And a new Total Wine and More opening is definitely one of those things. So, yeah. But I'm going to get started because I am over here getting distracted. And I'm only I was telling a couple of friends, I said I'm kind of nervous about tonight only because I didn't think people were really going to say yes. I had posted on my story last week and I was like, should this be my topic for Wednesday? And people were really swiping up and saying yeah. And I'm like, whoo. I said, okay. So I had more yeses than no answers and no's. So I'm actually gonna I said, okay, I'm going to do it and I'm going to make it happen. And it's funny because I had talked to my therapist about it before I did it because it just happened to coincide with therapy day. So I was talking to her about it and like just kind of broke it down on, what it meant to me, how I want to talk about it and how I want to approach it. And kind of got the words out because I'm shy. I know people laugh when I say that, but I kind of am. And let me see, so that way people who have not seen my story can know what the heck I'm talking about. I don't even know how to get to. Hey, Micah, thanks for joining. Um, I'm happy you're here. I know you be having stuff going on. Uh, I don't even know how to get to. Wait, no, I do. I do. I'm lying. I know how to get to it. No, I don't. I'm gonna figure it out real quick. But I posted and it was just I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. I just be doing stuff. I be doing stuff. Oh wait, no, I think I know how to see it. Duh, duh. I think I know how to get to it. Y'all are watching this in real time. Me over here think. Okay, so it says, I'm not embarrassed to admit I overplay my part a lot. I genuinely want to make sure I give out the love I want to receive. I love hard to the point I hurt my own feelings, which bothers me. I'll never change that aspect of myself though, because I know I showed up honest, real, and as me. I stand on that. And if I seem distant, just know I caught on. And I asked, I just put the question in at the bottom. It's like, should I make this my topic for Wednesday? And more people said yes. And I just said, okay. But then I started getting a little apprehensive about doing it because that means that now I got to bring out a whole nother side of vulnerability, which I mean, I've done. So it's not like it's not something, that I haven't done. But when you open that up, you can't close it back. And it's crazy because it did, this is something that we had touched on in therapy a few times, where it's just like, I get way too attached to people way too easy. It's like I start just doing stuff. I want to be involved. I want to help. It's so many different aspects that comes from me getting attached and learning not how to detach per se, but how to approach it in a way where I don't do too much. And It does. It's emotionally draining sometimes because I am so. I just want to do. I mean, that's just how I was made. It's not something that I chose to be. It's just how I was made, and it gets hard sometimes because when I'm not receiving the same, I guess you can say, energy that I'm putting out, it does make me feel rejected. And I feel like any human, it's hard for them to handle rejection very well. And sometimes I feel like, I'm being, picked up when that person wants me and then put down when they're done with me and they've gotten what they needed from me. And it gets hard sometimes, but it's something that I'm learning to work on with myself. I mean, so many people right now talk about, oh, my cutoff game is strong and, oh, I don't have no problems cutting people off. And when it comes to me, I don't, that's not, my thing. Oh, I know you are. We talk and I know you are. And it's not, no one talks about the grief that comes from cutting people off. Yes, we especially if it was somebody that mattered to you. That is such a hard thing to have to accept and deal with. And you're altering your life, you know, without this person now. So being, one of the things that my cutoff game ain't strong either. Don't feel bad. Like I hold on until it's one of those where it's just like you've completely exhausted me. And now I'm to the point where it's either you or me. And I don't want to be to that point anymore with anybody. So I know how to let go and love from a distance at that. I think that's the best way to phrase it because there are plenty of people that I don't like to say cut off, but I have distanced myself from. And I still have moments where, things that happen, it's like, oh, I would have called that person and said that. Or things, I'll see things and it's like, oh, well, I would have sent this person that. But we don't have that same relationship anymore. And it hurts. I don't think people talk about that enough. It does hurt. Everybody acts like there's just so okay. Oh, I cut them off and this is what's going on. Oh, I did this and no. Okay, if I'm being completely honest, no, I don't feel that way. I get sad sometimes. I've had moments where I've cried to myself over, the loss of certain things or even feeling like, it was one-sided as well. So, no, don't feel bad about it. I'm not gonna be that person. Be like, yeah, my cutoff game is strong. That's a front. That's fake. That's not me. I go hard, from the beginning, and then it becomes, no, it does take time. Like after a while, you're like, okay, but it also depends on the relationship that you had with that person. And people don't understand it's not just about, everybody thinks, oh, it's a romantic thing. No, it's more than just a romantic thing. You have platonic relationships, you have familial relationships, where you cut off family and people don't think that it hurts, but it does hurt and it takes time to get over that stuff. And we often overplay our role in people's lives because we care about them, and most of it is how we're accepting that person. We create, the relationship with the person in our heads, our hearts, things like that. So when they do something that we don't deem it is hard. It is very hard and it's emotional and we don't talk about that enough. We pride ourselves off of being hard and doing that. You know what? In my friend group, we have a friend that, is a bit toxic as well. And I'm not going to lie, it hurts because you're like, gosh. But then, it's like the grace that I show sometimes is one of those where it's like I look at her situation and I go, okay, this is what she's dealing with. This is what she's going through. And we've all been there where it's situational. Hey, Liesel. Thanks for joining. It is situational. People are going through things, they're going through life, they're living life. So now in this stage that I'm at, it is easier for me to show a little more grace, even after I stop dealing with a person, because it's just like, okay, well, you're dealing with this, you're going through that. I'm not gonna, be harsh. Like I can be around people that I don't deal with anymore and not say a word. It's, that part I've mastered really well. So I'm not minding that part, but I'm not going to lie and say that I'm not hurt by certain things. So, but it's like once I'm over it, I'm over it. But while I'm in the thick of it and I'm going through the grieving process, yes, it is hard. Um, One of the things that she did help me realize is I was so busy living in the dream that I sold myself. So I'll meet a person and we have a conversation, we talk about things that we both have in common, whatnot, and next thing I know, in my head it's like, oh, this person is just like me, so now I'm treating them how I would treat myself or how I would want to be treated. And then when it's not that particular way, now my feelings are hurt. They didn't hurt my feelings. I hurt my own feelings. And that's one of the hardest things I had to learn to accept about myself was no one can hurt you except for you. Yes, people do things and yes, those actions may hurt, but when you put a person on a pedestal and they don't live up to where you put them, that's on you. And that's the reality of a lot of situations that I had to live with. I've had moments where I've been like, oh, this person wasn't serious about me. Um, this person didn't care. Exactly. Only if we allow them. You're right. And that was my biggest thing. I've allowed so many people to do so many different things, and I can't be mad at that person when half the time people are telling you who they are and they're at face value, and we tend to overlook that and say, okay, well, this is what it is. So now I am starting to accept people for who they are and knowing where to put myself in their lives. I have some people that, you know, they text me like, Liesl, we had that earthquake. I think it was Monday. Yeah, it wasn't yesterday. It was Monday. And she was one of the first people to text me. I value when people check on me. I value when people, do things because they're like, oh, well, I know you like this, so I did that. I value when people remember things about me because I remember so much, and sometimes it's like that's why my brain feels so overloaded because I do care. Or if I remember somebody told me they wanted to do something, it's like, oh, well, let me figure out how I can do this so that way we can go and do X, Y, and Z. And lucky you didn't feel that earthquake because I'm telling you, we are on the fifth floor of my building, and I think there are 8 floors in the building, and we were just swaying. I said, "Oh, okay." I had to freeze for a second because I'm like, "Wait a minute, am I feeling this right? What's going on?" And then when somebody else went, "Okay, it's earthquake," I was like, "Okay." Started googling. I'm like, "Yep, that was pretty big," but it was in bars though, so I was like, "Why did we feel it the way that we feel it?" But because we were up a little higher, but our building is on rollers, which is why we were swaying and it wasn't so aggressive. So that was a good thing. Really good thing. But it's definitely, I'm learning to have relationships without, the whole idea that something is owed to me. Everything that I receive from every relationship in my life, whether it's family, friends, um, it's something where it's just like everything is, it's a plus. It's not, I'm not expecting anything from anyone because when I had expectations from people, I was let down a lot, a lot, a lot. And I can't do that anymore. I'm setting boundaries. And I tell people now that I'm learning the whole boundaries thing, that my boundaries are not for anyone else but myself. I can't expect people to respect my boundaries. It's on me to respect my own boundaries. And when something goes wrong, learning when to say, okay, enough is enough. I'm not going to, continue to accept certain things. Um, I'm not going to tolerate, in my life anymore, people coming and going as they please. If you're here, you're here. If you're not, you're not. And some people are only for seasons. And that was a hard one for me to accept, because I do care so deeply about people. And it's hard to, once you get attached to people, it's hard to let them go. And you think about that person. And even when someone has really, or I've allowed that person to hurt my feelings, I still have moments of sadness and, where it's just like, man, well, I wish I could help them get through that, because I remember when I was going through X, Y, and Z, and I see why they are the way that they are. But it is, um, it takes work. Hi, Anthony. Thank you for joining. Look at this. I got all my people in here. um, and learning when to, let people know that their access to me is limited. I have to set the tone for how I want to be treated. And right now, I feel like the people I have in my life that I say, oh, this is my friend, I value, this person being around, the people I hang out with the most, they're the ones that treat me, amazing. So that's why I continue to hang out with them. And my friend circle is like so dope. Like, it's intentional. It is a constant thing. Like, I don't think there's a day that we just go and don't have some kind of communication in some kind of way. And everybody knows, like, my love language right now has been, if I see something that I think is going to make you laugh, it's going to make you emotional, I'm sending it. I don't care what time it is that I saw it, I'm sending it. So my love language right now is sending, reels from Instagram, TikToks, things like that. And it's, that's my way of saying, oh, I thought about you when I saw this. And it just, it's a beautiful thing. And I like how accepting I am of my own emotions now. I'm not allowing situations to control my emotions to make me be something, the person I don't want to be. Because I hear people all the time where they're like, oh, I'm petty this. I don't like being petty. Petty does not suit me very well. Yes, I have petty in me and I can be petty. Do I like being petty? No. Do I need to be petty? Also, no. So do I refrain from petty? Yes, because in the end, I end up feeling bad afterwards. So it's just, I put myself in situations where I do my best to not, overplay certain situations where I feel like I have to be petty, because then it becomes really toxic for me and I have to go through and overanalyze everything. So, that's one of the ways that I'm learning to not have to deal with the whole, oh, my cutoff game, whatever. We all know that's not how I'm gonna be. But it's funny because no, sometimes you do have to tell people, because sometimes people don't know they're doing stuff, because that's just the way that they are. Um, and I think a lot of the time we have to confirm we're doing too much, because giving too much of yourself is exhausting. Um, One of the things that, and I didn't even notice this about myself, like I was telling somebody else, I said, my partner was the one that was telling me, you got to get out, you got to do things, you need to do this, you need to do that. And because of the way that I was raised, it was one of those where I had kids. Okay, so I got to take care of my kids. Everybody else comes first and I can't do anything. And now it's just like, okay, but that's the Leo in you, Anthony. That's why you talking about you petty. Yeah, that's a conversation for we've already had. But now it's one of those where I love my alone time. Like, me being out, me doing things that make me happy looks amazing on me. It is great for me. I look forward to that time. I am much happier as a person. So whoever created that whole, oh, you got to put everybody else first, lied. They lied. They sold us some bull crap that a lot of us women have been fed to. It's like I used to feel guilty when I first started doing things for me. I like when I say I felt so guilty, it was just like, oh my God, but I'm missing this and I'm doing that. Yes, but I'm also coming back a happier person. I'm also able to deal with stressors a lot better because okay, life is gonna deal you some bullcrap sometime. And I'm able to deal with it a lot better when I'm in a happier mood. So I take advantage of being able to go and just do things and things that I enjoy because, I was telling another friend, I said, you can be with somebody and you both have, you know, certain commonalities, but at the same time, you can also have things that you both enjoy doing that the other person doesn't have to be completely involved in. And that's fine. It's normal. You don't have to do everything together. But I enjoy my space, especially my wine space. My goodness, the way that I get so excited and I light up just being around the people that are in my wine family is just, I don't even know if there are words for me to even put that into, an adjective. But you can't give more than you have. That's why when you're on an airplane, they always tell you put the mask on yourself before you help somebody else because you can't give more than you have. But it's also when you give too much, you get exhausted, you get critical, it's a bad situation for everybody. And to be completely honest, who wants to, yes, my Anthony is in the wine fam. I want to say we are the coolest group of people, super supportive, love each other wholeheartedly. uh I don't know, and it's crazy how we just connected and have just been so close since. So I love it. um One of the things that we did touch on when I was talking to my therapist about this is, like I said, I talked about how, because of the way that I was raised is the reason that I was doing. No, it is no fakeness. It's like you gonna get what you get, and we all gonna talk about, what's going on. We're gonna get it out, and if it is any issues, then, you know, we're gonna deal with it. But we haven't had any issues, and I love that. I love that for us because we do what we do. um, that was one of the things that, I did talk about with my therapist about too was, my background on why I was doing a lot of the stuff that I was doing that led me to overplaying my role. And, you know, now I don't, I now you have to get to the root of things. That's why I tell people all the time, going to therapy is a good thing. You want to do it for you. And when like I said, in my journey, I started for the wrong reasons. It was for me, but it wasn't for me. And I did it for all the wrong reasons. Now that I'm taking it a lot more serious, it's only for me. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It's my own personal journey for me to be better, for me to do better, to feel better, and really get through the madness that goes on in my brain. And people laugh when I say this, but I'm just like, I've really had to ask multiple times, do I have ADHD? And she always laughs and says no. However, in my brain, I've always like, but I don't. So, but my brain just has so much that goes on. Like I will wake up sometimes and I'm just like, I didn't do this or I need to do that. And next thing you know, I'm like responding to something or I'm sitting here going, oh, I need to post this. Or I mean, I've texted a group of my friends who some of you guys are on here where I'm like, oh, I have this idea to do this. Do you mind doing this? And it just works out for me perfect. But that's what, therapy has. So I tell people all the time, if you want to be better, you want to do better, I would highly suggest going to therapy. It is a great, way. Um, you want to make sure you practice discernment too. And that's something that I struggled with and still struggle with sometimes is seeing people for who they are, really taking people at face value and believing that, everyone, like I had posted something some years ago where I was saying, I did a happy birthday post and put my friend, and another friend went, um, stop calling everybody your friend. And, me being me, I'm just like, no, that's my friend. Quick to call people friend, not making them earn it. And now it's one of those where I am making people earn it. I am giving them space to show me who they really are and that they deserve to be called friend because let me tell you, it gets rough out there. It gets rough out there. Um, and having open lines of communication with the people that I do call my friends because we all do some stuff that pisses people off, that makes people feel away. You got to be able to express yourself. And I wouldn't do that in fear of, oh, well, what if they get mad at me and stop talking? Well, what if they do? What if they do at this point? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I've gone through some really emotionally heartbreaking situations with people that I truly cared about. And I'm still here. I'm still surviving. Life is still going. I have not lost any sleep. Yeah, I may have, been sad while going to sleep, but I haven't lost any sleep. I'm not struggling. I'm still going to work. I still, so if me being honest with you about something and me talking to you about things and having an open line of communication in something, it wasn't meant to be anyway. So it is what it is. And letting people have time to, catch up to, the requests that you have. That is a really big deal. People that we all, I mean, I know I've been quick to do it where it's just like, oh, I said something, I want the person to change overnight, whether it's, a family member, my partner, my kids, my friends. If I say something, it's like, oh, I want you to do it right away. That's not how it works. And I would, I can't expect something from somebody else that I would put on myself. I can't change overnight either. It takes time to create new habits and do these things. So it's like, why can't I extend the same grace that I would want for myself? So you got to be able to, be rational about situations as well. And I'm one to, talk about rational because I have been very irrational at times. And I, you know, not proud of it, but proud to where I can say I don't do those same things. So, yes, proud of it. And then knowing when it is time to let the relationship go because some people say they want open lines of communication, then you communicate with them and they still don't change. And that's when you know, okay, it's time to let it go. Yeah, it you hit it right on the head, Meg. And you do have to remind yourself that because we all have expectations. We all have expectations. We all sit here and we want certain things and we don't extend the same grace that we want people to, we want people to extend to us. We're selfish. I mean, we're human. I feel like that's one of the most toxic human traits that we have is just being selfish. And grace is such a big thing that we have to have. And it is hard. It takes practice on that. I have a hard time showing myself grace. Just me in as myself. I have a hard time showing myself grace. So I'm learning to do that as well. So I don't have my own feeling. Like I said, my biggest learning, out of all of that was I'm hurting my own feelings by putting expectations on things that the other person didn't even know that they had. And even if someone does say, oh, this is what I want for our relationship, oh, I want us to have this. Hi, look at you on here. How are you, Soraya? Um, I'm just not hurting my own feelings anymore. I accept people for who they are. And I had someone tell me that was settling. And I'm saying, I had to tell them, I said, no, it's not settling. It is me learning that people are who they are. And sometimes people are, they don't mean to be selfish. They just have some selfish ways. I mean, we all have selfish ways. Right now I'm going through getting older and good, good. It's late where you are then. Going through some getting older changes, and I've been a little more hot than normal, and I know I've been freezing my family out a little bit because I need the AC, and it's okay. That's one of my selfish things right now that I have to remember. Oh crap, they're not probably on the same temperature that I'm on. So, I mean, everybody has selfish things about themselves. They also have a lot of things where they show a lot more what is the adjective I'm looking for? Ah, goodness. Now I can't even think of the word I'm looking for. But there are lot of traits where people where they're not so selfish and they will give you the shirt off their back. So gotta think about that and know when you have had enough. And that's when you say, okay, I am done. But it takes practice, it takes time, and we can all get through it. But I honestly thought this was a good topic because, like I said, I mean, I'm going to continue to be me. I know that's not something that I'm going to change because I'm naturally a giving person. I want to give, I want to do, and it is what it is. If it's not received the way that I want it to be received, then it is what it is. And people receive things based on the emotion that they're in that moment. So somebody could be grieving. Guess what? They're going to receive things through the emotion that they're going through. You can't find any type of fault in that. So just learning, growing, and knowing when to say when. And then there's sometimes where people just are not good people and they don't have your best interest at heart and they do things knowing it's going to hurt you. And that's when that becomes a different situation. But even with that, I still am not going to subject myself to act in a way that wouldn't make me proud when it was all said and done. So, yes, I got through this and I was nervous about this and I did not cry. Now my nose is a little. Okay, bless me. But thank you for joining. If you have not hit the like button, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. All the things, share, comment, all the things. If you're new here, Yana's Wine Corner on all the platforms. You find me on them. I'm all on all the things. And I will see you next week with a new bottle of wine. Same time. Have a good one.